As you know, I really love color combinations and color psychology and trying to figure out the colors that work within your color palette. So in today's video, I want to go over some of the top color pairings for 2024. These are really classic, they're really accessible because they're going to be everywhere this year, and I think that they're really fresh and fun ways to incorporate color into your closet. So if any of these speak to you, this can be a great opportunity to pick them up. So let's get started. So I figured I would break this down by kind of the main colors that are trending and then the colors that go really well with those. So the first one I wanted to talk about is Burgundy, or kind of like an Oxblood color. As you know, I really love this color. I think it's really chic feeling. It's just really classic at its core. You can find this kind of trickled throughout every personal style, and no matter what aesthetic you tend to identify with, this one tends to have a place within your wardrobe, and it's something that doesn't date. So what I love about this also is you can adjust the undertone of these colors to suit your preferences. So if you wanted to go more of like a brown base and make it feel a little bit more earthy, you could lean closer to like a maroon. But if you wanted to keep that wine feeling and something that feels a little bit more red based or kind of like purpley based, leaning really strictly into that burgundy is going to allow you to do that, and then the Oxblood likewise. And what I really love about this also is that it has the energy of red, so it has that kind of vibrancy and that fire behind it because there is red built into it, but you can also kind of offset that by pairing it with other colors. So the first one that I wanted to talk about is Burgundy or Oxblood mixed with gray. This is so classic and I think really, really beautiful, especially for the fall and the winter. So we're kind of trickling out of that time period right now, but if you pick up any of these pieces, keep that in the back of your mind for the fall and winter this coming year, and I think it's going to be so beautiful. The next color that goes really beautifully with Burgundy or Oxblood, or kind of like a maroon color, is navy. And navy, just like this burgundy variation, can change the undertone to suit your preferences. So you can go for something that feels closer to like a really rich kind of like navy that's got some yellow built into it. It feels a little bit more royal blue. And then you can also go really, really deep navy into something that feels almost black. So make sure that you're finding your perfect navy and then bringing those burgundy or maroon accents into it. Creates such a sophisticated color combination. It also feels inherently preppy and a little bit like prep school in New England. It's something you tend to see in school uniforms, Harry Potter I think of, and it's something that you can use to channel that energy into your wardrobe. And as a result, I think looks really, really spectacular in the fall as well. So another one to keep in mind as we move throughout the year. And then the last one that I wanted to talk about is tan. And I love this because it kind of offsets this burgundy color and it kind of subdues it a little bit. There's something about tan that inherently feels a little bit earthy, especially if you're keeping it kind of in the lighter tan. It can feel like sand, and that is a very relaxing feeling and a very relaxing color to look at. And it also helps liven it up a little bit. So this is one that you can wear right now and I think looks so gorgeous, especially if you do like a tan top, maybe a pair of tan pants, and then some burgundy accessories, especially as they dip a little closer to brown. That's going to be so, so beautiful. Another color that is everywhere this year and very easy to find in a couple variations is red. So just like I mentioned with the burgundy, you have kind of that red energy built into it, but this is a very, very literal red. It looks like fire and it feels very energetic. And the color red can be a little bit tricky depending on your personal preferences. It can feel too bold for some people. So definitely if you're going to lean into this, consider it for an accent, because there's nothing better than a red accent. And you can wear that in a pair of shoes or a bag or maybe a necklace or a scarf, and it's such a nice way to kind of bring that energy into your outfit. And so the colors that pair really well with red are kind of endless. You can really wear anything that you want. I've done an entire video all about red that I will link here for you. And then very similar to the burgundy, we're also seeing red paired a lot with brown and tan. And this is so great because it again feels very fresh, and there's something about that tan color that just anchors any color you pair with it. So especially if you want to lean into a color combination that feels very, very fresh, going for red and tan is an excellent way to do that. And you can definitely continue wearing this throughout the spring and the summer because these colors are both very flexible for those times of the year, and they kind of speak to the energy behind those seasons. So next is the color that I'm wearing, and I've noticed that yellow has kind of come in and out over the last couple years, and it's been kind of tricky to find certain versions of yellow, but now I'm finding so many varieties. And yellow can be kind of tricky to style within your wardrobe. It can also be tricky to wear, especially if you have more olive skin tone or you have a complicated undertone. Maybe you feel like me, like your color kind of changes throughout the year. Sometimes I'm really ashy, sometimes I'm more golden. So it can be a little bit tricky to find your perfect yellow, and that makes this time so wonderful because there are so many versions. We're getting really acidic yellows all the way to like really rich butter yellows. So find the one that's again going to be perfect for you just by trying a bunch. Hold them up to your face, look at yourself in the mirror, see which one's speaking to you. And then you can take it one step further by trying to understand the energy behind the yellow and which one is making you feel the most like your personality's reflected. So I really love this kind of like almost warm butter yellow. It feels like sunshine, and I love spring, so it reminds me of the season. And it's something that I find that works really well with the off-white that I already have in my wardrobe. And that brings me to the first color that is nice to consider to pair with yellow, and that is white or off-white. So I tend to gravitate more towards this off-white color when I'm wearing yellow, just because they complement each other so well, and it also works with the accessories that I have in my belts and my jewelry. But you can definitely go for like more of an acidic yellow and pair that with bright white, and it looks so beautiful and feels very, very fresh. And I also really love how we're seeing a lot of yellow accessories right now, and especially like yellow bags, because it's such a great way to kind of liven up your wardrobe. So maybe you have a very neutral wardrobe and you're not totally comfortable with color yet. You can wear a nice neutral outfit, maybe all gray or all white or all off-white, and then bring in a soft yellow bag. It looks so, so beautiful, and it brings that energy, that vibrancy, and that pop, and is a lot more accessible and kind of an easy way to dip your toes into color and kind of figure out which ones you love. And then the last color that I want to highlight is pale blue. Pale blue is definitely always available, and you can find some version of it all year long and regardless of fashion and regardless of trends. But I'm finding that this year in particular, we're seeing a lot of pale blue all worn together, and specifically kind of like a pale blue button down paired with denim. And I love this because it's a great way to kind of interpret the Canadian tuxedo look or denim on denim, but in a way that feels very fresh and I think a little bit more accessible. I find that denim tops can be a little bit tricky to style sometimes, but a button down is probably something you're familiar with wearing. So going for a soft blue and then pairing that with your favorite pair of jeans and a great belt, it gives such a fresh version of this, and I think a really wonderful way to wear it for spring. And then I also love this because you can take this combination and you can throw a great jacket over it, some tall boots, and some dark accessories, and all of a sudden that's perfect for the fall as well. A lot of flexibility within this, and I think a really beautiful, really classic combination. So those are some really beautiful colors to consider for this year, and the colors that pair really well with them, things that are really easy to find right now and have a lot of interpretation for your personal style. So I would love to know in the comments down below if any of these are speaking to you, and if you think they'll work within your color palette. And then of course, like always, please let me know if there's any color you want me to highlight, and I can dive deeper into it and the psychology behind it, and then what you can wear with it. And like always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a great day.